so today our topic is about ATV accidents. So we're going to talk about that while you go ahead and give us a call.
Yeah, I mean, so, all-terrain vehicles or off-road vehicles are very popular,
Right.
So it started kind of with four-wheelers, and then it's gone to these, the Polaris-type vehicles, the side-by-sides or whatever. And they're, kind of a different type of vehicle. So when we see injuries that result from these, there's some different laws or different concepts that we look at in terms of that. The first thing is, most of these vehicles are used off-road. They shouldn't ever be operated on a roadway, and most of the time they're not street legal. So you want to make sure they're not operated on a roadway. If they are, it creates its own set of problems in terms of the operator if they cause a wreck or cause some kind of injury. The second thing you look at is whose property is this on? If someone's using these trespassing on somebody's property, the homeowner, the property owner doesn't have any responsibility to warn them about problems. But if you know people or giving permission for people to operate these vehicles on your property, you need to tell them about any known defects, cliffs, big problems, rocks, things like that. There is things that they're going to be aware of, but if there's things that are hidden that you know about, you absolutely need to tell them. So that's kind of the thing. If you're charging for to allow these people to come on your property, then the homeowner or the property owner has the obligation to make it safe. So those are kind of the first things that we look at whenever we deal with the ATV injuries. Like, who's the operator, who's the property owner, and then potentially if the vehicle malfunctioned, that could be something that we really talk about. Or, it can create really difficult problems in terms of insurance that's available. Right. So if you have one of these vehicles and you're operating it and other people are using it, make sure you talk to your insurance agent and make sure you have the right coverage for it.
So important.
We have Dale on the phone right now, Michael. Dale, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I live next to a little apartment complex, and every time they cut trees, they pile it up in the yard, and part of their yard waste is starting to get in my yard. Anyway, they got this huge pile of limbs sitting in the yard for the last few years. And I was wondering if there's a city ordinance against that.
If you're in the city limits, absolutely there is. You can call there's an app in Huntsville that allows you to, what we call see, click, fix, and then it will alert community services or community development that there is a problem, and then they can go in and they'll typically warn the property owner once to remedy the problem, and if not, they can cite them, or the city can go in and remove the offending material or property and then send the owner a bill. So in Huntsville, it's a website, see, click, fix. You take a picture of it, drag the picture, drop it in the box, and then tell them what the problem. And there's a little thing for a map to put it, the address on there, and then the city will respond. And in my experience, they've been really responsive. It's a great program.
Yeah, because I've seen that in action, and they actually move pretty quickly too.
Yes, absolutely. Especially if there's a situation that creates a danger, like a overlying tree limb that's dead or falling or something like that. They get on that quickly.
Yep. So regarding, back to our ATV accident topic, so hunting camps are a place that I see a lot of folks, or have seen a lot of folks, they carry these ATVs to these hunting camps because it helps them get around that big property. When it's a business and not a personal property, somebody letting you on their property, does that change the dynamic of the law and how things are handled?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So if you're a owner of a property like this and you're charging people to come onto your property, then you have a heightened obligation to make sure that it's safe. Now, you don't have an obligation to fix every defect, but if there is a condition on the property that's not open and obvious, and that can be a lot of things, then those are conditions that you need to do to make your property reasonably safe. So if it's a hunting camp, you're going to have to go in there and inspect the roadways to make sure nothing's washed out or that there's not a problem. If there's a particular situation with wildlife, that's something you would want to deal with. If there is, other types of things that you need to do to ensure that people are on your property that can operate their vehicles in a safe manner, you need to do that. And if you're making money off of it, your obligation is there. You want to look at your insurance to make sure your insurance would pay for any injuries that are caused on that property.
Good point. And a very
nice.
timely topic,
Yes.
too. because
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
saying-
it's that time of year.
It
is.
Exactly. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Before you go, though, we are going to remind you about the blog post. Do not forget to go here if you would like to see more of these topics in depth. Make sure you go to lawinjury.com/blog. You see it right there at the bottom of your screen.
And if you didn't get your questions answered, we'll see you back here next week, right?